Your neighbor and say, when I enter a situation, bondage falls. It seems like you're not even doing much. You're just counseling. You're just praying. You just love on them. You just hug them. You just give them a word of comfort and a word of exhortation. Marriages are healed. People start forgiving each other. Now, don't talk to each other. In other words, when Yahweh's favor is around you, it gives life and destroys bondages. For it is the anointing that destroys the yoke. The anointing not only of the Ruach HaKodesh, but of favor. When a man's ways please Yahweh, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Yahweh gives you the keys of the kingdom, and the gates of Sheol cannot prevail against you.
Amen.
Realize you are a minister of reconciliation. Everyone who walks in favor has the gift of healing. Write it down. If I walk in favor, I have the Holy Spirit gift of healing. I can send an email and people and relationships can get healed just when someone else can send an email and it confuses the situation even further. Not me, you. Anybody who walks in favor carries an inbred, inward, inextricable gift of healing that can never be taken away from you. Yahweh sent Moshe to Pharaoh to free the bondages of the people. Favor sets people free. My goodness gracious. Favor sets the captive free. That's why when you've got favor, you've got healing. When you've got favor, you've got power. When you've got favor, you've got authority. When you've got favor, you've got finances. When you've got favor, you've got relationships made right. When you've got favor, you've got supernatural ability that has overshadowed your human ability. Bondages are ended. People are set free. Zigs become zags, and your mistakes don't last even a night. For it is written in Tehillim 30, verse 5, weeping may endure for a night, but to the child of favor, joy cometh in the morning. Tehillim 30, verse 5. Weeping endures for a night, but joy cometh in. I'll tell you what favor is. It's good to get out of Barnabas for a while so I can preach the word. But I'll get back into it Saturday, don't worry. Sorry, gotta finish the job. My mother was dying in a coma. She said to me, every time we said goodbye, it wasn't goodbye, son. It was stop preaching. Mama, stop preaching. That's what she'd say to me. Have you stopped preaching? I don't think so. And then she went into a coma, and everybody had given up. Nobody could communicate. My uncle walked into the room, no response. Doctor walked into the room, no response. Moshe Yosef Konichowski walks into the room. She eyes open. Mom, can you hear me? Yeah. Mom, do you want to accept Yeshua? Yeah. If you hear me, squeeze my hand. She squeezed my hand. I said, squeeze my hand again. She squeezed my hand again. She squeezed my hand 8 times. 8 is a number of new beginnings, new birth, new renewal. What was the difference between me and Dr. Kildare? What was the difference between me and Uncle Stanley? Nobody, not much. I am the weak and beggarly things of the world. But it is favor. Favor caused my mother, who was in a coma, to squeeze my hand not once. And then I asked Yahweh, what's going on? I only asked her to squeeze my hand once. Yahweh said, I made her squeeze your hand 8 times so you'll know you weren't imagining things. Because sometimes in those situations we like to imagine things because we're desperate, we're hurt, we're in anguish, we're in anxiety, and we want to. Sometimes we see things that may not be there, but that was there, and Rivka was a witness to that entire situation. Amen. So favor sets people free. It was the favor on one man that freed a nation. That nation could be freed by no other means. Turn to your neighbor and say, no other means.
No other means.
No other means except the favor that abided on a single man, a single prophet, a single individual. You can make a difference if you have favor.
If you have favor. Amen.
You could turn a nation from heathenhood to set apart, Shabbat keeping, piety. One man can set a nation free. Moshe set an entire nation free from bondage. Favor establishes you on a path of ongoing progressive freedom in new areas of your life. Verse 21. Exodus 4:21. Is anyone enjoying?
Amen.
Gotta go quickly. Shemot 4:21. Yahweh said to Moshe, when you go to return to Mitzrayim, notice it wasn't his first time. He had returned. See, I will do all the niflaot before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. I'll harden his land because he won't have my favor. He won't let the people go right away. But eventually, turn to your neighbor and say, eventually. Not right away. Eventually, favor overcomes.
Amen.
Eventually, progressive freedom and liberation comes to new areas of your life if you have the favor of Yahweh on your life. Sometimes favor to deliver doesn't come in a day, it comes in 20 years. So what? We're not in a hurry. Yahweh's not in a hurry. Some of you were drunkards, some of you were thieves, some of you were homosexuals, some of you were perverts, but now are you light in the Master Yahweh. But that didn't happen overnight. It was the favor being played out in your life. First selectively, write it down, selectively, he selected you and then played it out progressively, and you're still in progression. And that's why it says in Philippians 1:6, he that begun this work in you will complete it until the day of Messiah Yeshua, somebody. He will complete it. He will complete it. He who begun this work in you will complete it. But notice, Moshe didn't bring that favor to set the bondage of a nation free the first time. It took more than one trip. Remember, a sign of favor is to grow where you're planted and to blossom where you're planted and to keep faithful to where you're planted, because eventually, progressively, Yahweh will set people free because the favor abides on you. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Shemot 11:2. Shemot. You're listening live on the Yadi Radio Network to Rosh Chodesh, coming to you from the studios of the Miami Beach Yisrael Revival. Shemot 11 and verse 2. Yahweh said to Moshe, I will bring one more plague upon Pharaoh and Mitzrayim. Afterwards he will let you go. And when he lets you go, he will surely drive you from here altogether. Meaning, Pharaoh's not just going to want to get rid of you. He's going to be in such a hurry to get rid of you, he's going to drive you out. He's going to put you in the back of a pickup, and he can't get you out quick enough. Hello? Favor. What caused the mighty Pharaoh to want to drive Israel out in an 18-wheel pickup? Favor. Yes, the power of Yahweh is always manifest through favor. Speak now in the ears of the people. Let every man ask his neighbor, and every man from his neighbor jewels of silver, notice, and jewels of gold. Did you see that? In other words, when favor sets people free, when favor destroys bondages and yokes, when favor gives you victory in all circumstances, when favor turns zigs into zags, when favor covers all your errors of yesteryear and gives you the bright sunshines of tomorrows, then, listen, at the end, turn to your neighbor and say, in the end, that was weak, let's try that side of the room. In the end, he will fill your cup and your bags and your barns until, not till he takes them away, but until new ones can be built. You know why Israel left the Egyptians with gold and silver? Because their bags and their sacks were not big enough to take everything out. How does an Israelite get wealthy? Favor. I tell people that all the time. See, I didn't go into this into my father's business to make money. Trust me. I was a loser. If you could look I'm under L in the dictionary. But now I'm living better than ever. Why? Because Yahweh has given me favor. Yahweh will give you favor. He's not a respecter of persons. And so, you see, when favor is on your life, Wall Street is your inheritance. One way or another, that filthy mammon is coming into your pocket. One way or another. For it is written, the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. What you've got to do is relax and let go. Just relax. More tzitzit, more Shabbat wine, more candles, more Hebrew lifestyle. And build while you're proclaiming. Stand in faith. Declare those things that are not as though they were. But while you're proclaiming, build. For he that is faithful in little things will be faithful in the big things. If you can't tithe and you're making $1,000 a month, forget about it. You're looking for favor in all the wrong places. First give the $100 out of your $1,000 and then watch the favor in that area come. But that's another story. So when a man walks in favor, he frees bondages, he frees peoples who are enslaved. In verse 2, the people are the beneficiary of one man's favor. You know who's going to benefit if you walk in divine favor? Yahweh's people. Amen. Yahweh's people are going to benefit. If everybody in this room walks in Yahweh's favor, we can accomplish more for the kingdom of Yahweh. Amen. That's Yahweh's will. That's Yahweh's will. That everybody in this room walks in divine favor. Amen. Everybody. Not some. Everybody. Turn to yourself and say, that includes me. Shemot 12:36. And if you didn't hear that, you need to become a better listener. When you talk to yourself, listen better. Shemot 12:36. And Yahweh gave so it's not when favor comes, you got to understand something. I want you to look at me. You got to understand something. Favor is not compartmentalized. I have favor in my marriage, but I don't have favor at work. I have favor with my children, but I don't have favor in the stock market or whatever. It's not, it's the whole package. It's a package deal. Do you understand the blessing of favor? When you ask for favor, it comes in abundance. Yeshua said, I have come that you may have a life, favorable life conditions, and have it what? Abundantly. Yochanan 10:10. So the beautiful part about favor is when favor comes, it is an all-encompassing lifting up of the individual, edification of the individual, elevation of the individual, and nobilization of the individual. It encompasses every area of your life. You're coming, you're going, you're rising, you're sitting, you're waking, and you're retiring. It encompasses everything about you. But until that favor comes, some of us settle for partial favor. Partial favor. We're not a full favor that Yahweh wants for us. That's right. Look at verse 36. Shemot 12:36. Yahweh gave the people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim, so that they gave them such things as they required, and they plundered the Mitzrayim. Notice. So not only does favor fill your cup and your barns until new ones can be built, notice, favor not only gives you more than you need, it will allow you, notice, to specifically receive. Notice, they gave Israel specific required things. Did you see that? Not just general, but specific. Father knows I need a car. Okay, do you walk in a general air of favor? You'll have the car. Amen. Father knows I need a healing in my body. Really? You walking in the general favor of Yahweh? The healing in your body. Well, in other words, favor can meet a specific need. Hello? Favor can meet not just a general need to be more than a conqueror, but favor can meet a specific need in your life that maybe nobody knows about. Maybe you don't even know about, but favor can meet that specific need in your life. So when you walk in a general cloud of favor, notice Yahweh gives you provision that is minutely detailed and required. It's exactly what you need when you need it. Amen. So favor doesn't just throw things at you. Favor gives you exactly what you need at the exact time that you need it. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Jasmine's doing this, so she's really happy tonight. She likes this message. Her head is she's up and down. Look at that. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. It's good to see that. Toda Rabah. Good to see that. So, the barns are filled through the general favor and then specific. Yahweh will meet all of our needs according to His riches in Shekhinah by Messiah Yahshua. Shemot 33. Let's continue. Shemot 33:13. This message, favor. Do I have it? Do I have it like Moshe had it? I don't think I have it like he had it. I'd like to get there, but I don't see my life having it like he has it. Now I'm thankful for the favor that I do have, but I see a man who's cut from a different cloth than I have. He had a lot more favor than I have, and you should see he had a lot more favor than you have too. So how do I acquire his favor? Not things, not people, not places. Favor. Favor encompasses all provision, specifically and generally. Shemot 33:13. Britt, can you be so kind and get me another refill? Because that's what's fueling me today, brother.
Okay. I want you to keep going.
Thank you. That's why I need another cup. Chock full of nuts is the heavenly coffee. So. Verse 13. Shemot 33:13. Now therefore I ask you, now Moshe is arguing with Yahweh or debating with Yahweh. Now therefore I ask you, if I have found favor, Yahweh, in your eyes, imatzachein be'einecha, notice, show me your derech. That's of course Yeshua. That I may know you, that I might find favor in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. And he said, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Remember what I told you earlier? You cannot separate the favor of Yahweh from the ability to recognize His presence always going with you. When you see His presence and Yeshua in everything that happens in your life, you have entered into a new phase of favor. Because you could see Him in the car accident. You could see Him in the unemployment. You could see Him in the operating room. You could see Him in the valley of the shadow of death. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever and ever. Somebody. Why are you all so quiet on me today? You want me to get back to Barnabas? And if you don't make noise, then I'm going to go. Not only am I going to go back to Barnabas, I'm going to go back to Barnabas in Espanol. Then you'll really be confused. For you English speakers. Verse 15. And Moshe said to Yahweh, look, Yahweh, if your presence does not go with me, that means I won't go in your favor. Don't carry us up here. Carry us not out. I would rather be a slave in Mitzrayim than to proceed another step without your favor, your presence. Shemot 33:16. For how shall it be known here that I and your people have found favor in your sight, except you go with us? Can I tell you something that you're not going to like? I don't have to pray and hear Yahweh's voice to know I walk in His favor. Amen. Because ministers, can I share something with you if you promise not to tell? Pinky swear? Promise not to tell? You know ministers are some of the least praying folks that you've ever met. When does a minister have time to pray? This call, this need, this medical emergency, this congregation, this trip, clean the church. Ministers have some time to pray, but they're not prayer warriors. Any minister who tells you they're a prayer warrior is either has a big nose like Pinocchio or is a pretty good liar. I don't have a great prayer life. That's why I need you. Wow. Now I'm changing churches. I didn't know that. Well, now you do. And I'm just like most ministers. We're busy being busy. So I need you to pray. Please. And then I know I found favor in Yahweh's eyes. When you pray for me, because sometimes I just don't pray enough. Praise Yahweh that I have a praying wife every morning. Get in the office! Amen. I don't talk like that. I said, Rivka, would you please consider darling going in the office? It works a lot better. Please, Rivka, remember to call Janet. Remember to call. And she's up there with the little... As soon as that hat goes on the head, I know she's praying. And that means I'm not ready. Move on. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Every morning she's praying.
Amen.
As soon as I see her head covering go on.
Amen.
Verse 17. And Yahweh said to Moshe, I will do this thing also you have spoken. I will save the nation. I will not destroy this nation. Notice, because you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name. Now, a couple of points. I thought Moshe had favor when he freed the slaves from Mitzrayim. Yes. But notice, he has more favor because favor is both selective as well as progressive. He's progressing into a new area of favor. First favor frees the slave, but then favor enriches the slaves, but now favor stops the destruction of this new nation. Favor on one man can stop a nation from being destroyed, can stop a congregation from being destroyed. How come there are hundreds of congregations that have church splits? The door is closed, the sign says out of business, the back door has a sign, gone fishing. And they're not fishing for a grouper, trust me. They're fishing for a job. This congregation has had splits, and look at us. Every time we have a split, we grow. More people come. That's favor. On you, on me. Thank you. That's favor. Watch this. So he had favor to deliver the captives from bondage. Favor not only delivers from bondage, favor withholds judgment. Write it down. The favor on your life can withhold judgment against your children, against your mom and your dad and others in your house who ridicule and mock and lambast the things of the kingdom. Favor on your life.
Amen.
When your child was basically an unwanted pregnancy, you were an unwanted pregnancy. Maybe you were the result of incest or rape.
Amen.
But Yahweh's called you to build him a house
Amen.
and to be second to the Father's throne.
Yes.
That's who you are in Yahweh. And that's who we are when we walk in Yahweh's favor.
Amen. Amen.
Favor on an individual's life, notice, can stop the destruction of an entire nation. How much more an entire family? Favor allows you to argue with Yahweh. Don't miss this, saints. I'm sorry, I sound like Miles Monroe. Favor, I want to sound like Moshe, kind of Chastity, allows you, no, I don't sound like Miles Monroe, do I? Because I don't know my purpose. But if I know my purpose, no. Favor, listen, gives you authority to withhold Yahweh's judgment upon a nation. If that's true of a nation, how about a congregation? If Yahweh's favor is on your life and Yahweh wants to visit this congregation or any congregation with judgment, it can be withheld. It gives you the ability. Yahweh allows you. Turn to your neighbor and say allows you. I don't like that. Try that side of the room. Allows you. Yahweh allows you to argue with him. And when you get to argue with Yahweh, you have some serious favor. You've got some serious favor. When Yahweh allows you to argue with him and he doesn't squish you like yesterday's New York Times and fold you up like a garment, you have entered a serious phase of favor. Now watch this. But that's not a bad thing. That's a told thing. Look. Look at this. Yahweh said to Moshe, look, I will do this thing because of the favor that is on your life. Look, I'll do what you ask, not because you prayed in the right name, not because you pronounced my name right, not because you kissed the Torah on Shabbat. No. You will do all these things as a result of great chen. Turn your neighbor and say chen. Not Cain. Chen. As a result of great chen, you'll do all those other byproducts of a kadosh life. But you will get to not only argue with Yahweh and not be destroyed, you will be able to save the destruction of those around you by the favor that abides upon you, notice. And not only that, Yahweh says this, I know you by name.
Amen.
Now let's take the view of the Yahweh's name is not important, people. Let's play devil's advocate. Well, if Yahweh felt about our name, like some people feel about Yahweh's name, what would happen? He knows us by name. Can he expect any less from us to know him by name? When he has chosen to know us, not by title, but by name? Can he expect any less from us? When you know him by name and he knows you by name, you have a measure of favor. But you're not the whole ball of favor, not the whole cloud of favor, not the whole part of favor, but knowing his name and allowing you, flesh and blood, dirt, from dust thou art to dust thou shalt return, to have a conversation, let alone a heated conversation with Yahweh. Trust me, brother, there's a certain amount of favor on your life.
Amen.
Because the unregenerate don't get that.
That's right.
They go from judgment to judgment. We go from glory to glory. Talk to me, somebody.
Amen.
Though the outward man perish, the inner man is being renewed day by day. So favor gives you the ability to argue vehemently with Yahweh and not be destroyed. Favor gives you the ability to walk into a situation or a place or a people that is under the sword of Damocles. It is under judgment, and your favor holds back judgment.
Amen.
That's how important you are when you have Yahweh's favor.
Talk about it, Kenneth Johnson.
Thank you,
Okay. Amen.
Just your presence can hold back Yahweh's judgment.
Amen.
Baruch Hashem now.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Favor. Do I have favor? Well, I don't have the kind of favor Moshe had, but I sure would like to get there. And I know Yahweh wants that for you also.
Amen.
Verse 19. He said, I will make all my tov, that's Yeshua, all the good news pass before you. I'll make everything all that substance that will one day become the good news. All my besorah, all my tov will pass before you. And when I pass before you, I will tell you the story of Alice in Wonderland. Is that what it says? No. I will proclaim the name of Yahweh, and I will show you unmerited favor, notice, to whom I will, and I will show rachamim, to whom I will. Notice, so when I proclaim the name of Yahweh, and you are willing to receive the name of Yahweh, I will proclaim